Welcome back to Busweek New South Wales Edition Day 2. In another twist, this bus is operated by Surfside and is painted green, but it is most definitely a New South Wales bus. You won't find any go-card readers here. In fact, you won't find any smart ticketing here, and I had to buy a paper ticket. Onto this specific bus, it is a Bustech XDI, which has formed the backbone of the Surfside fleet until quite recently, when MAN chassis started to gain popularity. Today's journey is quite a long one, starting at Tweed City shopping centre and heading all the way out to Pottsville, a trip which took about an hour. At least it's a properly scenic journey. Because Surfside has so many Bustech products, configurations matter, and this XDI number 353 is powered by a Cummins ISL engine, offering up to 1700 Nm of torque and between 280 and 400 horsepower in Euro 5 versions. The ISL is plenty powerful enough for this service. I'd guess this one has around 300 to 320 horsepower, but let's have a listen now. To be this far into the Tweed by bus by 7:30 AM means it was a very early start. But fortunately, the greenery absolutely popped through the grey sky, and the scenery in this part of the world is stunning, which makes the journey all the more pleasant. Despite my bus remaining very quiet for most of the journey, the world outside was still moving along, and as we make our way along we pass a Bustech SDI, which is an integral body school bus. I've seen a rare photo of one on a 700 before, which is something that would be amazing to have been able to catch. Still, in this part of the world, Surfside route service buses start with a 6, and the scenery is rather lovely. But it does start to give way to something that I didn't expect to see, a massive sprawling housing estate. Casuarina Beach has a surprisingly large housing estate that has just popped up, which provides lots of new housing options on the New South Wales side of the Tweed. Because I spent much of my time on the Queensland side of the border, and because public transport isn't as convenient once you cross the border, I really wasn't sure what to expect. After all, the Pacific Highway now bypasses just about everything, with Coffs Harbour being the next place that isn't bypassed. Love them or hate them, I find housing estates fascinating and frustrating. Having a clean slate to work off is a luxury that most planners can only dream of. So it can hurt a bit when the fundamentals of good urban design don't make their way into new planned areas. Walkability, access to retail and services, and transport to surrounding areas are often major oversights across many new planned suburbs. I've pointed this out in the past in some of my Greenfield Gripes videos, and unfortunately, many new housing estates are still plagued with this same issue. Eventually though, the housing estates diminish and the tightly configured residential subdivisions give way to sandy hills. The natural elements of the Tweed are what attracts many people to the area, and it is nice to see a combination of both remaining. With the state divide becoming ever more apparent over the last year and a half, it's interesting to see what northern New South Wales has to offer, as in the past I've rarely spent much time there. But all good things must come to an end, and as we approach Pottsville, it's time to jump off the bus and go for a little wander around. Righty, so we made it to Pottsville, and it's a pretty little spot, so I'm going to enjoy some breakfast at a lovely local cafe, and then I'll check back with you later. I don't blog food all that often, but this looks good, so you're gonna see this, and yeah. So keen. But before I go, I have actually already reviewed my onward journey to Murwillumbah on this channel, so go and check it out, links in the top corner. So thanks for joining me, and I'll see you tomorrow for day 3 of Busweek New South Wales edition.